off the build series. I thought that the last video, the previous one I had uploaded, was going to be the final one, but apparently not. I swear this is going to be the final one. I'm almost certain, unless something catastrophic happens, this is going to be it. So please enjoy. Yeah. Just got to do some hand painting here, because the masking kind of didn't quite work out perfectly. Alright, Artist Chalks. This is Novell Card Pastel number 113. Alright, Prussian Blue. Let me get my knife here.
Which makes it seem orchestrated. So you be the judge if this is just altruistic journalism with integrity, or if it's running cover propaganda. Here's the title.
Okay, here we go.
Posted on Yahoo News.
Alright, so this is something new I've never used before. This is a hobby Membo round. So yeah, these are like really fine tipped little swabs. Let's give this a shot here. Oh, it's a bag within a bag. Okay.
So they have a different point of view. President Trump boosted a wild conspiracy theory that accuses the Clinton family of...
Oh my gosh, get my freaking glove off here. There we go. Okay, there we go. This is what I want.
What do you want the video to be, like 9 hours long? It's not going to get good social media traction. So obviously they have their agenda.
Let's give this a shot here.
Threw them for a loop.
It's actually a little bit thicker than I thought it was going to be. It's not thin enough, actually.
How about deranged Trump boosts bonkers Clinton kill list conspiracy? That's a good title.
Oh, okay.
Liam, you should be ashamed of yourself. That is a stupid name. But there's another story around the Clintons that wasn't even covered in this video. And this story around the Clintons that involves an associate untimely passing away is the most obvious case of fraudulent reporting on how the guy died. It was ruled he killed himself. Shocker, I know. And then when you look at the story, you're like, how did
okay. So yeah, Prussian blue. So I have like another, as you can see here, I got like even darker blue, but I don't think it's necessary to go that dark.
Ruled the S word, hello YouTube censorship, despite no gun at scene. So, how did he kill himself? It was a gun, a gunshot, okay. Where's the gun? Oh, it wasn't at the scene. He didn't leave it there. Would have died instantly from the gunshot wound? Yeah, probably. So what do you do with the gun? He left it somewhere else. Probably left it at home. How does that work? Well, we're actually not taking questions on this. This is official report. What are you a crazy? Are you a deranged conspiracy theorist?
Sorry.
So this guy was
guy's funny.
Middleton. He used to be the aide to Clinton's chief of staff in the White House. So high up guy working pretty darn close with the former president, Mr. Hillary Clinton. And long story short, well, okay, what did this guy know? Well, he signed Epstein into the Clinton White House 17 times.
Oh my gosh.
So he did that. And maybe he knew some other things. But let's fast forward. Almost 1 year after Middleton's death, a police report obtained by the outlet.
Okay.
The Little Rock businessman was discovered.
So unless I rub it directly onto her face, it'll just blow right off, right? And that's exactly what I want. So.
Alright, pretty grim scene. I could see the male was obviously deceased. Officer doing some great detective work. Notably, Lawson's account, which is the officer, includes
nice.
Officers.
So yeah, this is providing some nice depth that even with appreciating, I was not able to really accomplish.
Now, maybe we debate, all right, did he die from the hanging or did he die from the gunshot wound to the chest? And I would say, as of now, it doesn't matter, because what matters is he had a gunshot wound to the chest. and there was no gun at the scene. The guy eventually died from the hanging or the gunshot wound. The question still begs to be asked, well, if there's not a gun at the scene, it kind of makes you think someone else pulled the trigger of that gun. Yet his death, this man who signed Epstein himself into Clinton's White House 17 times, is definitely ruled via the hands of himself, not someone else. Not someone else that would potentially
Okay.
be a
Well,
maniac
this
doing
is
random
turning
things
out
on
nicely.
Saturday night, nor someone else who may have...
Now I'm going to use a clean swab to
You don't have to
kind of
do
brush away
anything
some
to say,
excess,
at the very
right?
least. Wow, suspicious activity.
And let me show you that here. Let me get something.
President Trump posts this video
All right.
that Hillary Clinton doesn't want you to see on his Truth Social account. Then, of course, a lot of people repost that to
Okay.
lies and president.
So I'll have to remask the you know, because this is gloss.
My best guess.
And then
it's a warning shot to Hillary Clinton directly. I think it's
do another flat coat.
strength.
And of course I'm wearing my favorite Michael Jackson gloves because
I think it's a warning
I don't
shot.
want
Essentially
fingerprints in the
displaying
dust
strength.
here.
Essentially like two fighters and one of them's flexing at the other.
But yeah, that looks
That's
pretty
what
cool.
I think this is. I think it's a
Looks
show
pretty
of
cool.
strength and
Mr. Johnson and
Alright, so I'm gonna do something. I've done this before actually, it's been a long time ago.
Monsanto was able to buy support
Just add a little bit of drop of water here.
signed a bill to save this scummy company from many lawsuits.
absolutely awful news out of
And
Governor Kemp signed into
hopefully this is gonna work. Like I said, I've only done this once before, so we shall see. Alright, so I'm gonna make this like the bluish water here. See that?
You can no
Of course you do.
longer sue the manufacturer. This is putting profits over
Now,
This is giving a huge win to foreign pesticide manufacturers, including ChemChina and Bayer, that now can freely unload their poisons on Americans and have absolutely no liability whatsoever.
Now, I already
for the
told you
more
this was
recessed
after
areas,
The company was paying billions of dollars to the people who got
kinda just
cancer
paint
from
this
the
powder.
Roundup.
Pharma giant Bayer will pay out almost $11 billion to settle a
Nice.
lawsuit over weed killer Roundup after the German company was ordered to pay $2.25
Nice.
billion in damages by a U.S. court.
Okay, and then blend it here. There we go.
However, in addition to getting protection from lawsuits, Bayer, which is the parent company of Monsanto, is also trying to use bankruptcy.
This way you don't have to use any enamel
The company is getting
on
hammered
vinyl, 'cause you don't wanna do that.
lawsuits, and to
I mean, you
stop
could,
this
but
money drain,
it's,
they might force Monsanto
really
to
depends on the
file bankruptcy.
ingredients
Of course,
involved
if
and all that, if
happens,
it's gonna
all
work or
these
not, right?
lawsuits will be put on hold.
It might cause
Save
problems.
Bayer billions of dollars. That will also unfortunately make sure that many of the victims who have terminal cancer will never see justice in their lifetimes. But the question is, why will
Okay.
the mainstream media channels not even talk about the thousands of Americans who say they got cancer from Roundup? Well, it's because Bayer spent more than $326 million on ads in 2024 alone. And of course, none of these so-called mainstream journalists will say anything bad about the people who pay their salaries. And that's why I wanted to update you about what's going on with that case. Next up, I want to talk about Elon Musk, who seems to be on a warpath with Bill Gates. If you don't remember, this is what the Microsoft founders said about Elon.
Well, and you, Mr. Gates, you also called Elon
Okay,
Musk
so I'm gonna be ready for a clear coat after this, but
another word you can't
I'll move on to
When they
Asuka.
get in government, they don't take the time necessarily to see what the good work is or why it's structured the way it is. So I'm a little worried now with these cuts, if they're not reversed, we'll go to over 6 million times. So instead of going down, we'll go back up.
Well, this is how he responded.
And the comments that Bill Gates made the other day, which and I know that you called him.
Yeah, here's my.
I know you said that already.
Who does Bill Gates think he is to make comments about the welfare of children, given that he frequented Jeffrey Epstein?
He said he regrets those, and he spent a lot.
Now, Elon
Nice.
was brutally honest during this interview. I mean, just look at what he said about South Africa.
So now I'm in this absurd situation where I was born in South Africa but cannot get a license to operate in Starlink because I'm not black.
Well, it looks
Does
like
that
that's
seem
about,
right?
Nice.
looks like that.
Got a new one. Now, this time, it's Asuka's turn. This is number 24, which is Dark Rose. Alright, so let's stain this in the cracks. Oh golly, that doesn't want to stay, does it? What the heck? Okay, why is this not behaving? Weird. Maybe the hair is too glossy. You know what? Screw it. Hell, let me just do what I have been doing, right? Alright? Alright, let me get a different paintbrush. Flurp. Flurp, flurp, flurp. Got a bunch of paintbrushes here, by the way. See, here's all my paintbrushes. I got it up here in this Looney Tunes. Right? So that's all, folks. I think it was like a jam. Yeah, Welch's jam. Golly. Alright, so let me just I guess anything should be alright. Where's that one I want? Yeah, I want to use this one. I like this one a lot. Segundo. Alright, let's go back down here. Alright, let me blow her face. And use some water. So, I don't know, I didn't really learn about this technique. I just kind of just figured it out on my own. Yeah, I'll use this one here. I don't know, I just like just came up with it one time. This is back when I did the Galaga. The Galaga model shit by Wave. Gosh, I was like probably over 12 years ago. I don't know, at least 10 years ago. All right, let me brush this into here. Let's see how this, if it stains it properly. Alright. Guess that seems to work. Maybe I added too much water, I don't know. Should kind of work though, I guess. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's something kind of weird with this chalk. The lasting effect. I don't know what really is the matter, but I don't like what's going on. So, I'm gonna try something else, guys. Where's that dropper here? Alright. So, first of all, I'm just gonna wipe off some of this that's out in the middle of the open. Okay. So yeah, it looks kind of like really counterproductive. It's like almost looks a little bit like too light, right? So what I'm going to do instead, I added some. Now this is Turner acrylic gouache. This is permanent red mixed in with a lot of burnt sienna, and it wasn't quite dark enough, so I added some burnt umber. All right. Now this is by Mr. Hobby. This is a weathering based gouache solvent. I'm going to use this as a thinner. Okay. There. Let's give this a shot here. There. Oh, hey. I like it. I'll get another cotton swab here without bumping the camera. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so when you know you just can't use enamels, like Bondi plastic, or in this case, soft vinyl, just use acrylic, right? So this stuff is pretty cool. Now, I don't actually own any of their Mr. Hobby colors, their gouache colors. I don't know if I'm even saying that right. Gouache, it's just one of those French words or something, I don't know. Okay. But anyhow, it works just fine with this stuff. Alright. Now, these pigments that you're seeing me use, these Turner, get these anywhere. Anywhere. Like, the kids in schools use these things, right? So, here in Japan, you find this stuff anywhere, really. So, the Boombogu, right? It's the stationery stores, right? They sell this. So, like, maybe right now you're thinking, hey, Greg, kind of looks like crap. What the hell are you doing? Well, why don't I just show you here? Yeah, wipe away some of the excess and kind of blend it in. And let's just make sure. Let's just hope that this turns out nice. And it seems to be working. All right, I'm just butt stain. I wiped it all out. I shouldn't have done that. There. I went a little bit too deep. Alright. Alright, good. Alright, let's reapply here on the sides here. Alright. And then oh hey. I think I'm satisfied with how that's turning out there. Great. So I don't know if the camera can show you, but it's just kind of like chalky, right? It's like too light for some reason. I just don't know. I don't know, man. But this is working out just fine too. So I used chalk on Rei, and acrylic on Asuka. That's kind of cool. Cool. Switch over to a thinner brush to do her bangs. Make sure to get behind her ear because that's where that mistake was. Okay. Choopy choopy choppa choppa doopy doopy tubba tubba. I got that song in my head because of my daughter. It's one of those Neko memes, the cat memes. It was like a big thing about a year or so ago. Now all the kids have kind of forgotten about it. Oh my. Kids these days, man. You know, nothing sticks with them. Frickin' I'm wearing like Pac-Man underpants, man. I got Pac-Man boxer shorts from Shimamura. Right? I've been in love with Pac-Man since I was like 5 years old or something, right? That has not changed. Pac-Man, Star Wars, man. I'm like just the same. But here in Japan, I don't know. Maybe it's the same way in America and other places, but like the kids are just like so flighty. Like right now, Chikawa is all the rage, and I'm just sure that like in like I don't know, about like 3 or 4 years from now, like nobody's gonna give a crap about Chikawa. It's just as cool and cute as it is. It just seems like that's just the way people are, and it's kind of sad actually. I mean, like what the hell? Asuka's so cool. I love her hair. So pretty and red and stuff. I really can't stand the show though. It just doesn't do much for me. I remember like it was like the last episode of the TV show. It was like Shinji was able to kind of reconceptualize like, hey, well, what if we all just went to school together and there were no giant monsters trying to destroy the world? And what would that be like? And so there was like, you know, they're all going to school, and it's like this typical anime tropes of like, oh no, I'm late for school, and I'm like, as derivative as it is, I kind of like that better than the way the actual show turned out. Because the show is just psychotic, man. It doesn't do anything for me, I'm sorry. But the character art, though, dang. Sadamoto, I love his artwork. So, there you have it. Maybe, should be water soluble. It's coming off with water. Cool. Just be careful not to get it on her face, because that would not be good. Alright, guys. Oh shit. I've been recording this for 10 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna stop now. Okay, this is flat clear, alright? It's just a clear with a bit of flat base, the V-Color flat base added to it, so. Alright, Mr. Hobby Aqueous, black. This is gloss black. Oh gosh. I'm telling you right now, it's pretty hard to do this while keeping in camera and seeing this. I'm gonna have to get this camera out of my face. I need to get it out of my face, put my optovisors on so I can see this properly. Alright, not only do I want to glue this, but I also want to kind of fill this cavity in here. I think this amount should probably do it. It's actually maybe not even enough. I don't know. Let's give this a shot. And it's not enough, actually. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, this should do it. I probably should. What I should have done is, yeah, this is gonna work. What I should have done is probably use the polyester putty on here. But what else? It's too late for that now. Alright, so let's just run glue along the edge here, and hopefully it doesn't insplorginate. Alright, because that would not be good. And let's just paint this along. Yeah. Alright. Just kind of, there we go. Alright. And so this goes into here like so. And I can see I got some freaking putty on here. Sticking to my fingers here. Okay, so this needs to just find its mark and stay. I'll have to hold this, and I'm gonna take care of this before I do the other leg, but this seems to be sticking rather quickly, actually. I visited a junior high in town today, and we had like asking them questions and, you know, like doing English conversation tests and such. No, it wasn't. It was just like preparing them from stuff. They weren't being graded or anything. But these boys, I asked them, so Rei or Asuka, who's prettier, right? And they're like, oh, they both said Rei. I'm like, okay, so if Rei and Asuka were to get in a fight, who would win? They said Rei. Guess they're both Rei. I'm like, yeah, but you know, she's got that spear and everything, but you know, Asuka's pretty hot-tempered, so could be an even match. All right. Well, you saw that on camera. There you go, guys. And I don't need to do anything special off this one. This is already pretty filled up inside there. I don't think I'm going to do anything with that. So yeah, though I think though maybe it might be good to kind of put a little bit of putty on there. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going through a lot of this putty though. It's alright, because like my little drawer down by my feet, I found a brand new package of this putty. I'm like, yeah, I forgot I had this in here. Nerp. So yeah. some putty laying around. I didn't even know it was in there. Ah, boy. Alright, so... I think Asuka would probably win because she can probably get pretty violent, I think. Rei's pretty mellow. I think I might need a little bit more of the white, though. It doesn't look 50-50 to me. I just eyeball it, you know? See, now it's still a little bit too much. I'm gonna maybe cut this in half here. That should do it. Okay. So, you keep kneading, kneading, kneading. Gosh, I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's 1986, man. Golly. Aliens came out that year. I think Stand By Me. I just watched Stand By Me tonight with my wife. It's one of her favorite movies. And it's funny, like the video rental store in town, the last time I rented it, I've ended up buying it on Blu-ray because I kept renting it, right? She likes that movie. Like about once a year we watch that movie. Rob Reiner's an asshole, and I think he's probably a child molester. But besides that, so the video rental store, they had, I couldn't find it, and it turns out it was like in the romance section. I'm like, Stand By Me is a romance? It's about a bunch of little boys that go out and look for a dead body. What's romantic about that? It's just like, what the hell, man? Are you just judging by the song? I mean, it's like the song is in that movie because it's, you know, it could be interpreted as friendship, not romance. It's like, what the hell? Stupid. Tits. Me. I think I got some of that putty on my freaking fingers here. I don't want that. Alright, here we go. Form, feet, and legs. There we go. See what it looks like in the front. There. I think. It's kind of hard to tell. There we go. Got a little bit of crap on there from my fingers. That's not good. Alright. You know, maybe it would have been better to assemble it and then paint it. At this point, I don't know. It's alright, I guess. Okay. So now that this is in place, this is working out alright, I suppose. You know, maybe not. Okay. Can I get this to behave? Oh my. You know, I think I get it. I think I see what's going on here. Probably I need to carve this goodbye. I'll just be very careful. I don't want to get any CA glue on my fingers and then touch the paint job, right? Let's try this again. And I think that's going to fit more accurately. I almost said more betterly, right? I say stupid stuff like that on purpose because I'm silly as hell. Alright. Get out of here. Make like a tree. Get out of here. Alright, let's try this again. Let's try this again. There we go. Come on. Alright, now don't piss me off anymore, please. Let me just insmootionate this. There we go. There, come on. There we go. I'm gonna line this up with her crotch. Alright. I think I'm satisfied. Okay. So, this leg went down rather easily. The joint's really clean. It looks really nice. There we go. Okay, okay. There we go. I'm pretty happy with how Asuka is coming together. So, let's continue here. Put some glue here. Now the dry fits I've done with this, it fits really nicely. Alright, so I do not anticipate any problems. I hope. I don't think so. Alright, let's just stick this in the hole, Stuart. There we go. And then it fits just like so. Okay. There. So yeah, I just, from my limited experience, just don't rush things at all. Just don't do it. Alright, now see, let's, for example, let's look at this here, make sure this is gonna fit alright. Looks great. Okay. Okay. Just to make sure. Okay, there we go. And then pop that in the hole. And there we go. Alright, so Rei's other arm is... Here it is. Alright. Oh, you know, I don't have anything in there. Oh, golly, that's right. I remember now. Alright. Let's get her head. Let's get her head. I'm gonna pop this. There we go. Pop this into place. There, isn't she pretty? Isn't that great? Let's do Asuka as well. Easy enough. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm happy. It's coming together rather well. This needs to... Oh shoot, you know what? Pop... Sag it. Let me pop her head out. It's a good thing it's got that pop joint, right? Let's see about what I can do with this guy here. This might need to go on first, and then her arm hair. Perhaps. Although she doesn't have long hair that gets in the way, so maybe it's alright. There's something in... This is damaged somehow. Is this where I had the clamp on there? The painting clamp? You know, I don't know. Oh, but you know, hold on here. Oh my, I missed a little bit here. I get this pen here. Okay. There. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of touch of paint here. I'll have to get that gloss black back out. As for this though, this is way too short. I don't know what happened here. I don't remember what happened. What happened here? Oh. Oh golly gee, that's what happened. Okay. Okay. That's totally what happened. It just, okay. Oh my. Alright, well, golly. Okay, so... This is where I might need to procure my wife's hair dryer. She's not going to be happy about that. This piece doesn't quite really want to sit properly. I remember doing the test fit with this before, and it's kind of weird. However, this might kind of cover up the glitch. So, assuming this gets put into place properly, this is how it should look, right? I just need to make sure it looks pretty from the front, not so much from the back, but at least from the front. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it just needs to look good from the front. The back, it's just weird. I mean, I've tried to figure this out before. I don't know. This just doesn't really fit. Maybe a more experienced modeler could handle that, but the way I see it, it doesn't even really matter because, I mean, this is going to get covered up anyways. And something just fell down there. I think that's the drawer where I had the box of putty I didn't know about. Ah, golly, what should I do? One thing though, I probably need to go ahead and just do a little bit of touch-up paint with this, because this got damaged. I'll have to repaint this too. I might put this off till tomorrow. I don't know. It's getting kind of late. It's getting close to 10 o'clock tonight. But so far though, it's looking really cool. And Asuka's pretty much done, it seems. And actually, I could go ahead and do this. Right? So there's like this little hook kind of a shape, and it's supposed to fit into there. And you got a corresponding thing over here. You see what I'm talking about here? So there's like this little, and then a, like that. And it's supposed to kind of fit into there a little bit, but I guess it doesn't really. I am going to just attach glue where I think it needs to be attached. Okay. And just pray it doesn't get on my stupid fingers. I think this is working. Plus her hair is going to be covering most of this up anyways. Alright, I'm going to let this toy sit. I don't think I'm going to touch this anymore for now. Not for the rest of the evening. I'm just going to leave the glue to dry. Because I don't even know if I can put this back on there, if it's going to disturb it or not. No, I guess it's okay. Kick ass, man. Alright, well, so Asuka's pretty much done. I will have to probably do a little bit of pink on their lips, though. Right? Rei, on the other hand, yeah, I'm just gonna leave her alone, I think. Just for now. This is kind of unfortunate here, how this is working out. Because that's just not even wanting to, unless I had that in there. Oh yeah, maybe that's how I had that originally. Okay. Get plenty of glue where it needs to be. There we go. There we go. Alright. I just crammed some putty in there. Alright, so let's put this in here, like so, and push it into place. Don't think I need the hair dryer. I'll just need to push this and hold it in place until it dries. Again, this doesn't have to look pretty because the backpack thingy is going to go on here. Okay, so right now I'm using the Vallejo plastic putty to fill in these gaps here. Fall forward with this because I don't know if I can pop this off and have it still look nice if I try to reseat this. I'm just going to kind of fill in the gaps and hope for the best. It's white on white, so maybe it won't look too bad. Right? I don't know. And then of course I'll just wipe off the excess with water. But I just need to get this filled up into the cracks here. Because unfortunately Rei does not come together as well as Asuka. And I think part of it is just because of the way I had filled her up, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to say, really. Let me just fill this up as much as I can here. As best as I can. Is this gonna stay? Oh no. Shit. Okay, good. Damn it. Kind of ruined the paint right there. Shit. Okay. Alright, I'm going to position the girls like so. Okay, so alright, let's position Rei here. Just using the lid of a black enamel paint here. Okay, that goes there. I will drill the appropriate sized holes for these to go into. Oh. There we have it. There they are. Cool. So here they are. Rei and Asuka have been completed for quite a while. I just wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with the stand. And I might varnish it. It might be best if I do that. But I'm just not going to show that. That's kind of boring, I think. So, yeah, this, I think Asuka kind of went together a little bit better than Rei, but for the most part, though, these turned out nicely. There are a few flaws that I can see that probably other people will not see unless they know what I'm talking about. So I'm just not going to go into that. Anyhow, yeah, these Sofubi figures are pretty cool, and I am actually going to do a Rei figure that is it's been 3D printed. And that's something I'm looking forward to doing. I've kind of started working with filing the parts, sanding it and stuff. Probably see that sometime soon. I don't know. Well, before I start the final presentation, I'll just say, well, first of all, thanks for the feedback I've gotten. This is, you know, I got a lot more comments. I will say, as, you know, everybody else says, you know, they are always begging people to like, comment, and subscribe. The more you push the like button and leave comments, that improves the engagement for a video, which would also boost it in the algorithms. As far as I know, that's how it works. And I'm not saying this, hey, you know, do this for me, but I'm just saying this for basically anybody. Any channel that you really appreciate the work that they do, you gotta leave comments and such, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of videos that I upload, get a whole lot of thumbs up and such, but nobody really leaves any comments. So yeah, the comments, that's really what I started doing this for, is to, you know, get to know people and such, and hear feedback on what to do, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So anyhow, as far as this kit goes, I think it's just really cool that it came as like a double set. Now, Tsukuda, they started out in the 80s, and a lot of their kits were, their figure kits were not that well proportioned. This obviously came out in what, 94, 95 or so. That's when Evangelion came out. And as a result, the engineering on this is considerably better. I mean, the only other ones I've done are like the I did or I'm still working on the Nadia Soft B kits, right? That Minmay Soft B kit, that was done by RDE, and it was not as well made as this, I think. The Fukaya is the company that made the Dirty Pair Soft B. Those they weren't sold as a set, but of course I built one. You know, the K was an original and Yuri was a bootleg, given to me by Mick in the UK. And the very first one I ever made was Devil Hunter Yoko, and that was the first anime figure kit that I ever made, and I was just really pleased with how I was able to do that, because I was really intimidated by the eyes. And I have seen a lot of figure kits where it would be otherwise fantastic, except the person really blows it with the eyes. And what I have seen some people overlook is just adding the glint in the eyes, and that's like, you know, typical anime, and that's what your eyes are trained to look for. And when you don't see it, the eyes look kind of lifeless, and they just don't really work. So anyhow, yeah, Sofubi kits are pretty fun. They are different than resin kits, so a lot of people don't have the patience to work on these. The one thing that I get people commenting on are, of course, the V-Color paints. Now, outside of Japan, good luck. I have mentioned before that in the US they have the Mad Ape Ninja color paints, and those are basically essentially the same formula as these. I think the thinner is pretty interchangeable. So, I mean, don't take my word for it, but look into that. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. Outside of Japan, you know, good luck. And some people I've talked to, like, they got the paints, but they're not able to get a hold of the paint thinner. And I've heard, like, some people said they've had some luck using acetone as a thinner, but I don't think that really works. I don't know. The cool thing, though, is that this is brand new, and you did see me using some of this stuff. And I only have a few of these so far, but this is Sofubi Color by Mr. Hobby, and these are water-based. So for as far as toxicity goes, I would say this is probably better for you. The V-Color can be a little bit stinky. I know my wife is always ready to complain about that kind of stuff. The cool thing about this, though, is that you don't have to invest in a brand new thinner, because it will work with the accretion thinners, as you saw in, I believe it was either this video or the previous video. You can actually use the accretion thinner for these paints, and that is a definite bonus, right? The thing is that, you know, when you get these V-Color paints, they're really only good for Soft B, you know, the vinyl, or the PVC kits. You don't really want to use these on other kits because, you know, first of all, it's kind of a waste of money because these paints are kind of pricey, right? You just don't want to do that. So anyhow, you don't need to use these, But if you do, I mean, here, let me scratch your tits here, right? It's not coming off. Scratch this, you know, coochie coochie coo, it's not coming off. It just does not come off. It just, you know, if you've properly washed, and I'm like, for me, it's like, knowing my luck, I will just scrub. Like, I must have washed these like at least maybe 2 or 3 times. And I was using like a degreasing detergent mixed with, I was actually able to get this in Japan. This is pumice powder with a toothbrush. And I just scrubbed the crap out of this stuff. And when I thought I was done, I scrubbed it some more, just because I've had it with, you know, these resin kits or Sofubi kits, and the paint just comes off. That just drives me crazy. Now, the one thing though I will say is that if you do use these Sofubi paints, you do not need to use primer. And this is the big mistake that I made with the Yuri. And I saw Mick, Shaz7 is his YouTube channel. He's in the UK. He gave me the Yuri kit, and because it was a bootleg, there's a lot of dimples on her legs. You can, like, this will adhere to primer and putty and stuff, but if you don't need to do it, don't do it. I had just totally sanded that thing smooth, so smooth. You know, I'm talking about Yuri's, her legs, her thighs, right? It was so smooth that, like, the Sofubi just would not stick to it. And when I painted it, then I masked it, and then it just lifted right off. It just drove me crazy, and I should not have done that. I really should not have done that. So it's been a real learning experience working with V-Color paints. And that the fact that these things will, like, it'll cobweb very easily, it can be really frustrating. And you got to clean out your airbrush really, really well. So as far as these paints go, I guess being water-based, they clean out more easily. I really haven't used these very much. I only have a handful of these. Like, for example, on this kit, what you saw me using was the metallic black. And I especially wanted to get this because V-Color does not have this color. I will say, though, that V-Color has a far more variety, wider palette. And, oh wait, no, that's something else. That's the, no, that's not it. They do have a lot more variety of colors. Mr. Hobby, you know, Aqueous, they are slowly coming out. Or not Aqueous, but Mr. Hobby, Gunzei Zangyo, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Creos, that's what they're called, not Aqueous, Creos. They don't really have a lot of colors, so if you like to do it manually and mixing your own primary colors and stuff, then have at it. I just don't have the patience for that. So for the most part, I will be sticking to the V-Color paints. There's a lot more, well, like a wider variety, wider palette, especially because, as far as I know, they do not have fluorescent colors in Mr. Hobby's Sofubi Color range, and you really need fluorescence if you're going to be doing skin tones and such. Who knows, I could be wrong, and I just haven't looked at their website. I don't know. I'm planning on probably going to the All Japan Hobby Model Show this month in October 2025. I might be pleasantly surprised. I don't know. Anyhow, though, what I'm saying is, you do not need to use these on Sofubi. The very first Sofubi kit I made was the Devil Hunter Yoko, and I just used regular Mr. Color lacquers on that one. And I believe I primed her and everything. So yeah, you don't really totally have to use these. However, if you do, and if you thin them to the proper consistency, then you will be very, very pleased, because you're not going to knock the paint off this thing at all. It's really, it just like, just soaks right into the vinyl somehow. I don't know, sorcery, you know, you tell me, I don't know. As far as these kits go, like, I can see right here, I didn't totally sand that down perfectly. So you can see that joint right there. Like I said, there's some things where, you know, people can't maybe notice it unless they know what they're looking for. I think part of the I do like how the legs were separately engineered so you can stick them together. At the same time, though, there was a little bit of difficulty with that. And looking back, I probably could have just done these separately and then just masked it, because, you know, I had to go back and putty on Rei here, for example, and actually I do see some discoloring there. I'm not happy about that. I wonder if I can try to do some touch-up on that later. Anyhow, the problem with the fit on Rei's back here, actually, no problem. Even though there's a bit of a gap right there, with that backpack on, you don't even notice it. I'm really happy with the contrast between the white and the flat colors in both the white and the red. Really happy with how that turned out. I just think that's really cool. And let me cut that out, or clean that off her tits there. Got some sort of a residue. Anyhow, at this point I am completely babbling, but I just don't see many people doing soft B. You know, like if you do a search for like soft B model kit, somebody had done like a Gundam soft B. It was like a Rick Dome or something like that. Can't remember exactly. There's so many soft B. I think the only soft B that come out anymore these days are, I think probably they're still making Godzilla soft B, I suppose. But you don't really see a whole lot of soft B. But there is enough of the hobby continuing that they do make these paints, and especially the custom toy market, right? So there's an overlap between like what I'm doing and what like custom toy people do. There are people who make custom soft B kits and such, or they buy like the Ultraman or Kamen Rider, you know, what have you, those toys, and they might do some modifications to those as well. There is quite a lot of soft B toy enthusiast market out there. So anyhow, gosh, what else is there to say? I will continue making more soft B kits. You will see Deedlit from Record of Lodos War. That is coming out. I got Pris from Bubblegum Crisis. Also, I started working on. You know, Deedlit is, you know, she's still in pieces, but painting is pretty much done. I just need to assemble her, I guess. Pris, I've only just started working on her. There's a lot of still cool stuff. I mean, I got like the Star Wars soft B kits by Kyoto I want to do. So even though it is not a popular modeling subject, I don't know, resin is way more popular. Soft B's kind of fun still, I must say, and I do enjoy it, and I do enjoy going down the path less traveled, right? It's like me with alternative music, right? I don't listen to, you know, top 40 music or whatever when I was in high school and such. I'd rather have listened to you know, alternative stuff. Anyhow, I'm rambling. I'm really happy with the choice of colors. You know, I really like how the gloss black, or no, it was like flat black plus a little bit of the gloss blue to get like the black for their sleeves and stuff. That really turned out really nicely. I'm just happy with how this came out, and I ended up not screwing anything up too badly. So thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, live long and prosper. May the force be with you. So long. Thanks for all the fish. Thanks. Bye.